We're at the 2017 SHOT Show with Ingenuity Gunworks and Paul Poindexter. Paul, what do we have in front of us?
Well, what we have in front of us is something that I developed for Barricade Stop for just about most of all the platforms that guys are running in competition. I felt the need for a Barricade Stop system that I could adjust on the fly under time in a stage. And so what we have, if I can turn around and see a little better.
Well, so probably
we probably do that.
So
Okay.
so it's mounted here in the stock,
Right.
But so that you all can see.
And this
how
is the
it-
new Manners competition.
Yeah.
Is that? If I,
That's the new Manners Carbon
yeah.
PRS Stop.
And so, yeah, why don't you show them here what you got?
So what we have is a rail system that the Barricade Stops have buttons on them that you push to go into different detent spots. When you release it, it locks. And they still rotate, so the Barricade Stops, when you're on target, you can change vector angle and it still is tight to the barricade. It's set up to where the bipod adapter, you can slide these obviously in the back, but if you need to move the bipod back towards forward of your mag well, push button, move the whole bipod back, locks into place, it gets really snug.
now, this whole system looks very reminiscent of the MPA chassis. Is this I imagine there's similarities in kind of how this works.
As far as I know, the MPA chassis does have a block that we started using for Barricade. You have to push a button to pull a pin out to remove it from a hole and put it in another hole.
Versus just sliding on the.
Versus just pushing a button and sliding it where you needed it.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're running the risk of dropping something and.
Well, that and, you know, if the situation needs it and say your barricade changed from position within the stage, you have the ability, it's quick.
Yeah, and I just want to show again on the stock, you know, what you illustrated with the bipod here. You know, somebody might say, well, why do you want to do that? Well, I can't tell you how many times we've been shooting off a rock or a parapet.
A barrel.
Or a barrel where you're just, man, if I could just move that bipod back an inch, I'd be home free. And so that seems
And a lot
to
of
be-
guys get flustered in the middle of the stage. If they need to do something, they freeze up, they're kind of stuck, don't know because they can't move something.
Now,
Right.
want to talk a little bit about kind of the design because you know everyone. It's apparent that you're hearing a lot of clicks,
Right.
And what I'm seeing here is there's a channel with a lot of small divots in this rail. Is there some sort of a pin system that?
There is.
Okay.
Basically, you have two stainless pins that are opposing each other.
Okay.
And they're both under spring tension. And so when I push the pin, it allows the vertical one in the detents able to plunge in and out.
Got it.
And so the clicking you're hearing is because of the spring behind that pin. And when you release it,
It locks.
now it won't let that vertical pin move again. And so it won't come out of that detent spot. But the way the bottom of it is designed, which is kind of new, we've had, really the only thing I'm aware of in the gun industry that's been around a long time is what we call an ancient, I pronounce it ancient rail. It's a T-slot rail.
Right.
And most things, you had to have tools to tighten it down and then it was just stuck there.
Yeah, like a set screw, right?
Right. So this gives us the ability to move it to and aft quickly, but also the way it was designed, it allows it to rotate a certain amount of degrees.
So let's talk a bit about, you know, how you would mount this to like your favorite chassis or your favorite stock. You know, what are some of the DIY avenues versus, okay, you know,
Right.
maybe I need a professional help.
So we're going to offer this, and right now we're going to start out to offer this in 3 different versions. One is going to be a rail that will be inlet into the stock, which you can order it that way from the stock manufacturer, or you can purchase from us, and if you have a gunsmith that's capable, it's not real hard for a smith to inlet it, and they can purchase it that way. The other way is an option that for guys that have older composite stocks that don't want to have the added expense to put it in, it will literally be just a bolt on to the bottom. So then you're You're drilling a hole in the stock to the barrel channel and putting a T-nut.
Okay.
It's something that's, a lot of shooters are capable of doing that much, drilling a hole and backing the T-nut. If not, it would be a little expense from a smith to do that.
Right.
And you're only adding 3/8 of an inch on the bottom of your stock. It's
Right.
not a lot.
And the components, this is aluminum.
It's all aluminum, billet aluminum.
Is there any hard coat or anodizing on
It
this?
is a class 3 hard anodized coat
Okay.
to obviously to keep down on the wear from the rail system. One other thing is they're reversible, so obviously the configuration it was in, if somebody is used to, when they're on a Barricade and they like to pull to them for recoil management, then they would naturally probably put the flat one in the front. But some of us prefer to push. And with these systems, you're pulling or pushing and you're putting a little down pressure on it.
Right.
But if I'm a pusher, I put the flat in the back and the angle in the front
Okay.
towards me. Or if it's a piece of pipe, like a fence rail, then I'm gonna put angle, and it'll
Okay.
wedge on the pipe.
Gotcha.
It'll fit anybody.
And so are there going to be additional attachments to come with this?
So I've already got some people asking that run just a straight Harris on a stud. So we're probably going to try to offer it with a stud here.
Okay.
So if they don't use a quick disconnect, they can still mount that there.
Now, at SHOT Show, we see a lot of products that are designed and have been planned to be released further in the year. Where are you at in that process? Are these available now? Will they be available later in the year?
So right now we're probably in the next month or so have product available after SHOT. Website will be up really quick. This is a new product for us. We're a new company and had the opportunity to show this to you guys and bring it to SHOT.
Awesome. And then have you guys worked out pricing on this?
Right now, like I say, it is really new, but I'm thinking $375 retail to the guys on this. That would be the blocks, the rail, and the bipod adapter.
And you'll sell direct or to gunsmiths?
Right.
Okay.
And it very possibly be available directly through Manners, McMillan. You know, you order a stock, and if you want it, they have it in-house, and you
Gotcha.
can go ahead and do the inlet there.
Well, we really appreciate you,
Thank you.
spending some time with us. And again, this seems like a really innovative product. And
Thank you.
so thanks a lot, and we wish you the best of luck at SHOT Show
Thank you guys for all y'all do
2017.
for our
Yeah.
sport.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.